whole cold steel Ultimate Hunter thing has gotten out of control. To get you caught up, I had two Ultimate Hunters, a black one and an orange one. They are of the newer generation that has the less, what would you call it, configured G10 and the S35 VN blades, which I'm very happy with. Then I bought the CTS-XHP version that's older with the more configured G10 handles. So I did some handle switcheroo and that kind of thing and wound up having the CTS-XHP blade with orange handles and then the S35 VN with the black handles. And there's just something about the CTS-XHP blade that makes me want to play with that knife more. I got to thinking, that's what we say out here in the country, if that's the blade configuration that I like the most, and the knife that I'm going to carry the most is the black handled version, then wouldn't it make sense to have my favorite blade in with the black handle? Well, that's how it came to me. What I've basically done was put the handle scales back on the proper blade and locking bar and all the other hardware. So here it is. And we shouldn't see this change at any time other than me maybe rounding off edges. We shall see. So now the orange one is sporting the S35 VN. And then, if you recall, I had a bunch of parts left over from that whole thing. And if you look at the thumbnail to my previous video, you will see all those parts. As I talked about in the video from inside my truck last night, the idea I was kicking around of putting a hole in the blade just like I do on the Chris Reeve Sabenzas and Incosis. Well, today's that day. I did it. There is enough hole there exposed to get a hold of it and open. You can Spydie flick it a little, but it takes some wrist action as well. Because it's such a beefy lockback or mid-lock, it really does take some. Well, that's getting easier, actually. Ah, see, it failed on that one. It is perfectly round. The edges are just so slightly chamfered. I gotta be honest, it was fun to do. The steel did not fight me quite as hard as I thought it would. But I used all brand new carbide stuff. So everything was very sharp, very crisp, and worked well. I've taken a picture, which I'll insert, of all the shavings, some of the shavings. A lot go into the trash can that I put below the vise. But now I need your help. We need to name this. What's a good name for that? I'm not going to monkey with the CTS-XHP. I'm going to leave that as is. Thumb studs, leave it stock, because where they're positioned on this knife, they are not in the way. A lot of knives, thumb studs are in the way. The way they designed this one, these aren't in the way. They don't get in the way of sharpening. They're not a hindrance. They are actually a good execution of thumb studs. So I believe I'm going to keep these two as thumb stud and just this one with a hole. See if I can do this without hurting anybody. Me. Let's do something kind of artistic. Which one of these is not like the other? I can do it this way. Maybe this will be my thumbnail. Fuck me. That's the wrong one to have drop, but no harm. Alright. Let's try that again. For an old guy, I still got reflexes, I guess. There we go. There we go. We're going to try and do this.